We stone.
We stone.
We streaming.
We streaming.
We stone.
We stone.
We streaming.
We streaming.
Can't do this motherfucker. Like
Yeah.
yeah. All my niggas in the chat and we also high. It's fun. Stone, stone, stream, stone, stream, stone. All my niggas in the chat they looking like high. It's fun. All my niggas gon' get that shit and roll. We stone, we streaming and streaming. We stone and streaming. Yeah, getting to the money, gotta get into the bag like yeah. Roll up, plenty motherfucking breather like yeah. All my niggas in the chat, they hot as fuck. Yeah, getting to the bag like yeah. All my niggas we stone and streaming. All my niggas we getting to the cheese and all my niggas we ain't gon' stop going to stop breathing. We streaming. We stone. And streaming. We stone. And streaming. We stone. And streaming.
What it motherfucking do be? It's your boy Righteous Ain't Playing.
And this is Chosen checking in. Mic check, mic check.
Everything sound all right, or we sound a little low?
I hope we all good.
Yeah, man, you sound good to me, bro.
Cool, yeah, likewise. Hey, I never, this is the first time I ever seen your actual mic. It looks cool.
Yeah, man, you know, man, I ain't even had this shit
Very
set up for a
professional
while,
looking.
just to be honest with you. This shit just been in the fucking box. I literally got the box right here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Florida in the house. Okay.
yeah, man. Told you, man, we're gonna get the shit all set back up, man. We got the studio set back up, so you know we'll be able to make some more funky fresh productions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shit, man, most definitely better for the show, man. I know a lot of y'all done seen that thumbnail. That boy, don't get that boy no thumbnail editor.
Just it turns into how much shit can you jam on a thumb? How much colorful shit can you jam on a thumbnail? Jam it on there. Just jam it right on in there. Shit that makes sense and shit that don't make sense. Just jam it all in there. But no, I'm getting better. You know, I'm getting better. Like, you know, it's cool. I'm getting better.
Nah, man, it looked really good, man.
Gumbo, which according to Black G is just runts. I don't know.
You think so, man?
I'm just saying, according to Black G, that's what he said. You know what though?
Look, I was watching it's this podcast I watched called the Uppercut Podcast with this dude named Tiger from New York, little Asian dude. Funny as shit, you know what I'm saying? But pretty much he had this dude named Yemen. Some people may know Yemen, but he was linked in with Chinks Drugs, a rapper who was fatally shot and killed. But essentially he linked in with Gumbo, and he got the shit called Hello. And yo, you know how you would go into bodegas before? Well, this motherfucker's most definitely like from Yemen, so you know they own some bodegas. And like he was saying, like motherfuckers is mad because you know you type in dispensary, it take you to the fucking bodega and shit. But he was like, yo, everybody know me and shit. I'm getting paper, you know what I'm saying, out of these delis and shit. So I thought that shit was kind of dope.
Fire, gas, pineapple, watermelon, grape. All right. Well, look, I had a very troubling week. It's been okay. We'll get into that in a little bit though, cause we got a guest today, y'all, and he already backstage, and this man is a professional, right? And I don't want him affected by our shit show that we run over here. Cause look, I watch this show, man. It ain't nothing like this one at all. So you know, I don't want to have him just percolating in the back too fucking long. You know what I mean, bro? You know what I'm saying? Just courteous and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, man. I'd love to have him on, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I've been having some problems with my shit that I turned around, but we'll fuck with that when we get them on here though. You want to introduce them more? Cause I ain't got no fancy buttons and shit like I want. You know
It
what I
sound
really.
like it sounded like you crackling a little bit, homie. At least on my end.
Hold on. Check my levels real quick. First, let's do this. Yeah, I'm hearing a feedback.
Yeah, so it sounds fuzzy right now for me.
Well, you hearing two of me?
It's not that I'm hearing two of you. It's just that you sound extra cracky. It sound like a lot of static, even on like the bass in the background. I wonder if it's in my headphones. I don't know. Yeah, it sounds the same both ways. Let me check something out here real quick.
Sorry, guys. I do. I don't know why. Yeah, but on my end it sounds like an echo, and I don't know why. Let me see something.
Try to unplug your mic and plug it back in.
Now, okay. If I mute him, I don't hear no crackling. Okay. Now let me unmute him.
Yeah.
And mute me.
Yep. That shit went away for damn sure, bro. As soon as you muted you.
But it's crazy because like when I mute you, it's gone too. So let's see. I don't know what it could be.
Good over here. CPU ain't running hot, nothing like that.
Static like a motherfucker.
This what I would recommend, because I know you the show person, but let me try this. Let me go out and come back in, and then if that don't work, shit, we probably just gonna have to restart the stream probably more.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. That shit weird though. Never happened before. Weird as hell. That happens on this stream. You're like, yeah, it's weird though. It's the first time shit happened to me. What I should have did, because we got him sitting backstage anyway, I should have brought Creative up here and just see if it's static. That's a good way for me to isolate it too. To see which person it actually is, because I'm already high and inquisitive. But he was supposed to come back. I didn't think he was supposed to just go and just stay the fuck gone. You know, I would bring on our guest, but I'm not. I ain't gonna bring on the guest while I'm waiting on the homeboy to come back. Boy, this show is getting up to one hell of a start. What's up, DJ Ango? Norma G, thank you for coming through. And DJ is, what up? Thank y'all for coming through. Which we will get this shit started as soon as my the other host of the show comes back, whenever that is. He was supposed to just jump out and jump back in, but shit, I think he jumped out and was like, man, let me go get something to drink. Go brush my hair. A whole bunch of other shit, I don't know. And I'm the real high one, so I get to oh, there he is.
All right, yeah, you.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was just me or what. But yeah, man, we got an excellent show for y'all today. Man, our guest today, man, I'm not even like you. I don't know exactly how to describe it. I just know very knowledgeable.
You not for me. Temptations ain't shit without David Ruffin. What's up, Con? Cause like for me, yep. I was just gonna say that your audio in and out, cause like you fading in and out. I was
I'm
just
fading in and out.
you kind of cool now though when you was up close.
All right, how about now?
Yeah, you good.
That
You
sound
good. You good.
Perfect. So excuse the technical difficulties. Excuse the booty face. You know what I'm saying? We bald face, burgling around this bitch. And man, we got an amazing guest for y'all today, man. This guest, as I was saying, man, not 100%. Don't know exactly how to describe him, man. Does a tons of fucking things. You know what I'm saying? Got a couple strains. Advocate for the community, and shit, man. We got creative, man. We got creative in the building from High Desert Exotics.
What's up, brother?
Hey, what's up? How you guys doing?
Doing great, bro. Doing great, man. We appreciate you for coming through. How you doing, man?
Doing pretty good. I rolled up a nice little joint. Oh shit, nice little joint for the sesh. So
Nice, man. You can see Chowop, man. He ain't wait for nobody, man. He already smoking.
Well, I lit it up. Look, I lit it up when you had dived out, so I was going to come back.
It's all right, man. It's okay. It's all right.
hey, when I be running streams, I'll be lighting up early too. I'll smoke right before I'm about to go live. Just maybe the jitters. I don't know. Helps me.
Well, it does, because you don't look jittery at all when I'm watching your shit. Not to me,
Probably because I'm fucking high as shit.
That's my secret.
Hey, exactly.
So if you could, man, because I've got a couple questions that I've written down. I know Chowop, he got a few questions he want to ask you. My big thing is, could you just introduce yourself to everyone? Let them know a little bit about you. What you do, stuff like that.
Shit, I'm just a home grower. I moved from Texas to Arizona. I was growing in Texas too. I've grown in Kansas also. And I'm just a home grower and aspiring to just be part of the community, I guess. When I'm just one of them individuals who's had enough with not being successful in my own life. So then I just start doing a bunch of shit and meet a whole bunch of people. And when I moved here to Arizona, life changing. The people that I met have molded me into a different type of person. You know what I mean? Like, pretty wild. But I'm just big into the weed, big into like solventless, big into healthy, good weed, and I love growing more than people who don't grow very much.
What are you growing right now?
A bunch of stuff. So usually I grow snowplow all the time because that's what I predominantly smoke. So I'm smoking on one of the phenos of snowplow, and I like to grow it too to showcase it to people. It's real big for me to do that. I'm also growing some wrenches. The wrench. This is something exclusive that we give away on the podcast to people. Just to have good weed. Like it's just the wrench is good stuff. It's not like competitive to being maybe the best profile you've ever had, but it's good weed though. Makes you feel good, But I'm hunting some of those too.
If you could you go into a little bit about the lineage of the wrench as well as the snowplow?
Yeah, it's nothing special really. So the wrench was I got some beans from Irie Genetics. Rasta Jeff, the machine is what it's called. And something about it just I really wanted to get it, so I ended up getting it. And at the time, I was running a bunch of people's gear, and not very much of it was good, and a lot of it was sexually unstable. Just you know, it is what it is. But of course, that's based on my growth style, right? So sexually unstable based on the way that I was growing. Those plants were having a good time. So I grow the machine. It's very stable. It outperforms everything. It outgrows everything. And I have 2 phenos of it. So I got 1 pheno that inevitably ends up being one of the better structures I've ever grown, one of the most frosty plants I've ever grown, and it's just always happy plant. And then the other machine was the tallest, most vigorous plant I've ever grown, and it yielded the most, and it was the most desirable in the effects that I've ever had with flower. Inevitably, that's been 3 years, and I still grow it back to back to back because I enjoy it. And I don't bring it out to people all the time either, because it's just like something I like to smoke. But the wrench is those 2 phenos of the machine. I reversed the smaller pheno with the better structure because I wanted that structure, and I know that when you reverse a plant, usually whatever expression that plant has, it'll be more dominant because of it being a reversal, usually, I guess. So that was my idea, and I had a bunch of phenos come out of it, and then I selected a pheno of the wrench that was very similar to the shorter machine with the structure that had real good structure, and then I reversed that and brought it back to the taller machine because the traits of the machine are more desirable to me, and I wanted to have more expression on that side, maybe in the flavor profile and the high. Like I like the high of that one. So then I made the RBX one, and that's what the wrench, what I've been giving out, because I popped a bunch of the beans too, and we ran through them. But they're it kind of like sectioned off like a piece of pie, all the phenos of the wrench, and it gave a bunch of people one section when I did that RBX, which there's a bunch of stuff in the machine still that's different. Like there's more candied stuff in there too. But it's just I love that plant and I love the high, and I just wanted to get it out to people. That's all it is.
Okay. And what about the snowplow?
Yeah, snowplow is the Blizzard from Mirror Crop, which is Frosty McNasty. He's a co-host of the Green Table podcast. So it's MIRA Crop. Mirror Crop is the company, and the Blizzard is the beans. I don't know if he still has them. I think you can still get them right now, but they're regs. So I found a pheno of that was like really, I've never grown anything like it or smelled weed anything like it. It smelled like a yellow starburst when it was growing, but then when it was done, when I chopped it down, it was like burnt plastic. Like it was some kind of, like if you took some piece of plastic, caught it on fire right there in front of your face, that smell, that's kind of what it tasted like. It was very odd, very strong smell and taste. And then after it cured, it was kind of like, it reminded me of Cajun food. So it was like a burnt plastic Cajun food mix. It was very weird, nuanced flavor. I don't know. I liked it though.
That's a hell of a
it was weird, bro. I'm telling you. But that plant, shout out to Frosty McNasty though. All his plants that I've ever grown from him have been very desirable in the terpenes, and effects have been very different from each other. Like I have Full Tank, which I did a cross with. Full Tank was wildly different than the Blizzard by a lot. You know what I mean? They have something similar in them though. But the snowplow is the Blizzard cross to the machine, and it's just the first cross of those two together. So then the snowplow, is just a plant that is very desirable to me. So that cross inevitably someday will be a product, just the flower from that plant, right? And I'm not going to make an S1 of it or anything like that. But I'll continue to make projects with snowplow potentially in the future, but mainly just as like a flower product and a rosin product, because the rosin is very desirable for me. I like it.
Now, before we move to our next topic, and I saw this today, man. Can you speak a little bit about daily grind?
The daily grind.
Yeah, the daily grind.
The daily grind is special to me. So snowplow number one, under the right circumstances, will become sexually unstable. It'll show some pollen sacs on the very bottom of the plant. First time I ever grew it from seed, it did that, and I plucked them off, continued through flower because I wanted to see what it was like, you know. And inevitably, it was one I really liked, so I grew it again, and everything was good. I've had other people grow it, and they never had that issue either. So I know sexual instability in that pheno, snowplow number one, was there. So I didn't want to breed with it. So then I tested snowplow number two, and it is sexually stable as far as I'm concerned when it comes to stress or anything like that. So that was something I made the daily driver. So then the daily grind is snowplow number one, the one that showed sexual instability, crossed to the wrench. And the wrench was the reversal in that project. So some of the progeny did show sexual instability when I tested them. I found this one pheno that I call the daily grind because it took a lot of work to get to it. And it's sexually stable, and its taste and has a high very similar to snowplow number one. And it has a compact structure like the wrench, the smaller first wrench. So what inevitably I did was, for all the people that want you to never mess with anything that's sexually unstable, I made a project out of it and made a better version of it that's more desirable. So if I S1 it and the beans are all sexually stable, then the daily grind was a really good hustle, you know, to work out instead of not doing it. Because a lot of people wouldn't try that. But I tried it. I was like, fuck it, I'm going to try it. You got to learn, you know?
For sure. For sure. Would you consider yourself a breeder? And
all right, so I don't have anything for sale. Oh, sorry.
No, just asking. Do you consider yourself a breeder? And also, I know Chowop will want to know, what would you consider a breeder? What is your definition of a breeder?
All right, so my definition of a breeder is obviously my opinion, and it's not going to be maybe the agreed upon definition based on some circles. I just think a breeder is somebody that crosses plants with intention to cross plants. Like that's what you're trying to do. So then if you're somebody that does that, by definition to me, you're somebody that's breeding. Now, are you a breeder that makes good products or has a good idea about what you're doing? That's to be determined, right? So then you could be like what people call a pollen chucker, where you really don't have an idea about what you're doing, or maybe you just don't even care and you just want to see the progeny of it. And then you could be somebody who has a lot of intention behind what they're doing. So I think everything I do is with intention. I think all the plants that I select are with intention, and every cross that I make, there's a reason why I'm doing it. I want the best version of what I got personally, and I want to try to make it better. So then inevitably someday when I maybe do have some products, yeah, I would definitely consider myself an aspiring breeder.
Nice.
You know, not maybe I wouldn't call myself a breeder necessarily, because there are breeders, but I'm an aspiring breeder, and I'm definitely, I think, in my opinion, moving in a direction to be called a breeder someday, many years in the future. But I have some years to put in with the plants I got first, and I need to build reputation around the plants I have inevitably before I can even be considered a breeder, in my opinion, because people got to know that I have a taste profile and it's got to be desirable, and then I have a lane, and then I can call myself a breeder. Kind of, that's how I kind of look at it, I guess, on my side of it.
Wow, you way too hard on yourself, man. Check it out. My opinion is like you said, you're a breeder for sure, right? But what separates, in theory, I agree with what you're saying. The only difference is this: once you have, because I think pollen chuckers have an intent when they chuck the pollen too, right? I believe they definitely have an intent. They just not throwing shit out there with no intent. I think that once you cross the plant, you're a breeder, and what separates you is like just like when you're a carpenter. You're not an experienced breeder. You're a breeder for sure. You might not be as experienced of a breeder as you might want to be, because you may have a different goal, right? You may want to take, for example, you may want to take snowplow, and you might want to take it to like F5, right? Or something like that. You may really want to hone it in and say, look, it's this particular this particular phenotype I like. It's this particular terpene I like, and I want to get it to where it's like this every single time, right? Of course, it takes
Yep.
time to do that. It takes time to learn the plant. All it takes time. But somebody else might just like, making shit. Like they might just like making it in mass. So
Exactly.
I just feel like everybody's a breeder. What separates us is the experience of which we breed, right? That's why I think they be like, "Oh, you're a pollen chucker," but they just say that because
There's nothing wrong with that, in
dude
my
just start
opinion,
breeding.
though. Like, there's nothing wrong with crossing plants. I think everyone should be crossing plants. I don't understand why people get so negative with each other in the community. If somebody wants to cross some plants, let them cross plants. If they want to share the seeds, let them share the seeds. There's nothing wrong with that. If they cause problems for people, that's their individual issue. You know what I mean? The whole thing is people get upset with people because they make crosses. Like, where did everyone start? All the people that you respect at some point in time decided to go ahead and start doing something, and then because people didn't treat them like shit and actually champion them, they're the people you respect now. So you got to respect the fact that champions are made every day, legends are made every day, and you can't just remember history in the past and champion people who are big in the game. You got to pick people up who are trying to make it now too, because they're going to be big someday also. That's the thing that a lot of people lose touch in, that it doesn't matter what you're doing, anything you're doing. Like, people should be supporting you if you're not trying to take nothing from nobody. And the people that don't do that, they're bad for the community, and they're only probably about money and or their individual power. You know what I mean? That's not helpful to a home grower. A home grower needs someone who's supportive and needs someone who's trying to help them and would like to share knowledge and not take power or money from them. Would like to actually share the wealth. That's kind of what the home grower needs. We don't need all that other stuff.
That's the only problem, right? In my opinion, because as long as it's weed, there's gonna be money involved, right? So
Yeah, definitely.
what happens is when people see they can make money, whenever you add money to something, that's when it usually get all fucked up, right? So the whole thing about breeder and pollen chucker, it's two schools of thought on that to me. If I'm a breeder and let's just I take it from your example, right? From you. I want to refine my product, and I've refined my product, and I've refined it, and it's been 5 years since I've been working on it, and I finally let it out, and I'm proud of my product, and it's a great product. It's very stable. It's very even. I can tell you everything about it, right? But then it's another guy that just took two of the hottest fucking strains, crossed them, and now he's selling them, right? Now what happens is now you feel some not you in particular, but what happens is that person feels some type of way because it's like, dude, I spent 5 years doing this shit, and this dude just go take two of the hottest fucking crosses and cross them together, and now he doing this, right? So I think sometimes people feel like that, right? Because it's like, oh, he ain't a breeder because he just took two things. I refined my shit, right? And I'm just like,
Yep.
nah, he's not an experienced breeder, and your shit's gonna be way more stable. But it's up to us to educate the fucking public so they can understand the difference between you and him, right? Hey, if you want the hottest shit that's gonna be fucking unstable, you might can go fuck with that. But my shit is refined. I worked it. You know what I'm saying? That to me, that's where the problem is at, because we can complain about all the shit being hype all we want to, but as long as that shit sell, it's gonna be there. As long as shit sell, it's going
I
to
think
be
that's
there.
that's the big problem, is this jealousy. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, if someone just come into the game, they done made one cross, you know what I'm saying, took the two hottest things and crossed it, compared to somebody who has taken their time, refined it, they're gonna feel a little salty because, hey man, I put in 5 years to this strain. You did, and that shit is the weed from 2007. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to smoke
Yep.
that shit. You know what I'm saying? Trying to be funny, you know what I'm saying? Just being real about it. I can understand
Or
how
some
they feel.
people do. Some people do. You just gotta find your lane. It's a lane for everything. That's what I learned. Some people want that. You just gotta find your lane and go there, because some people like variety, some people like fruit, some people like bag. Like it's, dude. Everybody smokes so much weed. It's a lane for everything, and a lot of it is people in the wrong fucking lane. They're like, oh man, my lane only going 30 miles an hour, but your lane is going 70 miles an hour. So let me get in your lane and then get ran off the fucking road, right? Because that's not the right lane for them. They're not supposed to be there.
Exactly. So, like, kind of like what you guys were saying, it seems like the biggest. So, somebody here, shout out to him. gave me some really good sage like advice when I moved here. His name's House of Fruitos, and he said on a phone call with me, he said, I asked him, I said, what do you think? Yeah, shout out to House of Fruitos. I said, what do you think is the number one thing that we need to be on? Like, what do we need to do as a podcast or anything out here, period? And he said, stay in your lane. Just do it, do all the things you're going to do, but make sure you do it in your lane, though. Don't worry about nobody else. If you do that, bro, you're going to be successful, period. That's what he told me, right? So then as time's going on, it's been a little over a year I've been here, and just we've been trying to just stay in our own lane, literally, you know what I mean? We've been watching other people do their thing, and we got people that work with us, different podcasters, try to change their times and shit, so they're all like kind of working together somehow. And I think that when you're in your lane, you're only going to get what you're going to get, and you can't compare yourself against other people. So it's like somebody might be more successful than you, might make more money than you when they just jump in, but the difference of what they're doing, you're doing is probably big, and you have to self-reflect on what those things might be. One, that person might value things differently than you do personally, and as a business, they might value money over everything. You might value other things like networking. You might cherish the relationships you have, and these things get in the way of you making money higher than this person. So then because they have a money idea, their ability to make money is going to be greater than you because you have things in the way of making money. So then success, when you have somebody who's totally success driven, they don't care about the relationships they have, they don't care about the reputation. All they're going to do is work at being successful. So the chances of them being more successful than you is higher because they have less things in the way of being successful. So then, yes, scammers win usually and beat you at first, but in the long run, they lose. People who don't put in the work and they get real big real quick, they don't realize what it means to work real hard for it when they got to hold on to it. So they'll lose it when it does get difficult. But the people like us and other people who are starting out in their own lane, doing their thing, putting in the right work, what will happen is the work that you put in someday will translate over into happiness and fulfillment you can't get any other way. So regardless if you're successful or not, the fact that you worked real hard and did things based on your value system didn't change will make you have a good life. You know what I mean? So that's what the cannabis community has been about for a long time. Is a lot of people have just done it for the sake of doing it. A lot of people give you stuff in the cannabis community for the sake of giving you stuff. They're not trying to promote themselves. They could care less if you make a video about their weed. They don't even care. They just literally were trying to help you out. Like, that's how they look at it. They're like, oh, that guy needs some weed. So that shit to me is why I like doing everything. So I don't even never want to sell genetics. Probably I've had this conversation with Madman Plant, and he was like, well, everything's worth money, you know, and your value and your time. And I'm like, yeah, but you know, some things aren't worth money to me. Maybe not to other people, but some things aren't worth money to me. Like the things I'm doing, like putting out season stuff, to me, I like giving them out to people for free. I like doing that. I like the value of somebody having a seed and knowing they got it for free, and knowing that the value that they got was that it was free, and that it was desirable because it was free, and it's valuable because you can't get it nowhere else but the place where it's free. So then it becomes actually a connection between people. You know what I mean? And that's what I like more than being able to like make money someday. I like just having a connection with people. So if I ever get much bigger than I am now, and I'm putting out a whole bunch of seeds, I'll have a way where we can put them out, you know what I mean, where we kind of make even, where nobody's having to pay any money, because it's more desirable just to build a community around plants and growing with people than it is for me to make money in that area. I'll make money selling weed. I'll get into the business and the craft when they get all this shit together, and that's where I'll make my money, or in extractions or something, you know, but not in the beans for me, at least. Potentially, I might change it up.
Man, that's
True to the movement might convince me.
Yeah, I was about to say, man, that's a very unique perspective. And speaking of True to the Movement, man, I want to shout out True to the Movement, just because, man, True to the Movement is a great dude, man. A lot of people don't. Yeah. Some people may or may not know who True is. True is the reason why I know Creative. You know what I mean? True has plugged me in with multiple people in the cannabis scene. He's very knowledgeable about the cannabis scene in Arizona, whether it's commercial, home grow, whatever the case may be, even legislatively, you know. So yeah, shout out to the movement, man. one question I wanted to ask you, because you have brought up several times that you're a home grower. Have you ever worked any jobs in the cannabis industry, or has it just always been for yourself?
Yep. I started growing in prohibition states and taught myself how to grow, and then basically reset my whole life. And at the time I reset my whole life, like changed everything and got everything together. I wanted to get into cannabis because it's been a theme in my whole life, dude. I've been genuinely like, as you know how your pothead stigma is that kids are kind of addicted to weed and they're like potheads. Well, I've been like that. I've been that kid that really is felt like he was addicted to weed since I was a child, and I've just smoked weed my whole life. So as an adult, I'm like, I gotta go deep into this shit, dog. I've been so involved with weed, and I love weed so much. I love growing it. I've tried to grow it so many times in my life. It's not even funny. Like I've had a whole room full of plants, and then going to jail and having family, having to cut them all down. Never made them to harvest, and I did that multiple times as a kid, as just an aspiring pothead. And I'm sure a lot of people have, turned up a few times with some seeds, when they're younger. But then when growing in Texas, though, under prohibition too, and not having anybody to show me anything, but trying to be all in, you know what I mean? Not just doing it for fun, trying to be all in, like build a life out of this and actually trying to do something, trying to move uphill like a market with growing. It's so hard to do by yourself, man. And then I got involved in this community online, and a community here in Arizona completely changed my life. I don't even know how I wake up happy every day. For no reason, I'm like, what the hell is going on, dude? It's just too much going on that's fun and enjoyable for me to give a fuck about all the negative shit.
Honestly, now, just a real quick question, because you did bring this up earlier as well, just to kind of segue. You said that you were growing in a couple red states. One, I want to know, like, what
allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Look, man, shit, I started there myself, man. Everybody knows, man. Shit, I remember doing a video on YouTube a long time ago where the face was kind of like grayed out, you know what I'm saying? Stories from a red state. You know what I mean?
This shit give you anxiety posting it, huh?
For sure, man. But at that time, man, it just was what it was. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I probably didn't mature until a lot later in life, because honestly, I didn't give a shit. If you're gonna lock me up for it, lock me up. Fuck it. But I wanted to know, man, because you have grown in multiple areas, have you noticed any differences as far as like the grow style, any reactions to your plants, anything like that?
I don't think I have enough experience from state to state to know. I was growing the same plants there that I grow here too. The machine, snowplow, those two at least. Well, multiple of snowplow, but the machine, the snowplow, and the wrench in Texas. But I don't know. This is all I know as somebody that runs a grow room, is that in Texas I needed big dehu shit, and I have to make sure my dehu doesn't go into frost protection and shut down for a second and cool and defrost the coils. That will I'll be at 90% humidity in the room. Like I was at those situations in Texas where it was like creepy, because it would rain for 2-3 days straight sometimes. Like monsoon season is a real monsoon season where I was at in Texas. But here though, where I live now, I live in Surprise, Arizona. It's like right in this little pocket of the same weather all the time. So it's been way easier. I can look at a forecast and go, okay, in a few days I might have to go in there and turn a piece of equipment on that I haven't had on. It's way more relaxed. But the AC here is intense. Like you got to run AC 24/7. When the summer here in about a month, it'll be 24/7. It'll never turn off.
Never will turn off. And like I be telling people all the time, a lot of people don't know this, man, but shit, it'd be 10 o'clock at night and still 100 degrees outside. You know what I mean?
Dude, all right, look, hold on. Let's get this straight. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. 56 days straight, it was above 110 degrees, and it never dipped below 100 degrees at nighttime. That was last summer. That was my first summer here. Like, what the hell? Welcome to Arizona. Like, let's get a record.
For sure.
I like it, though. I like the heat.
I coined this time of year summer light. You know what I mean? Because when summer gets here, man, like you said, man, that AC bill, that electric bill goes up. You know what I mean? What it costs to
Where
keep
where
your
was you coming
environment.
from though? Where was you coming from going to Arizona? Like you came from
Texas.
Texas. Was it?
Yep.
Do y'all have any humidity in Texas?
Yeah, it's humid.
Okay.
It's humid all the time. It's where I lived. It was kind of like it reminded me of Missouri. Like it's really humid all the time. The weather's always up and down, up and down, up and down. Like it rains all the freaking time. Rains during the winter, all winter. It'd be Christmas. It'd be raining. Like it's just wild there. That was in the pocket. I was by Dallas, so I've lived all around Dallas. Waxahachie, Grand Prairie. I've lived in Dallas. Suburb of Dallas, right next to it. I forget Providence, whatever it's called.
Okay.
But it's very humid there. It's super dry here. Super dry. All the time.
Man, that is a crazy name, Glizzy Water News. I've never seen you before. Welcome to the chat, man.
Hey.
That's man.
Hey, so
Hey,
that's the thing. That's the thing in the community. I don't know if you know, but there's like a kind of a funny thing about Glizzy, right? So you got Glizzy water, because there's always been some funny thing about Glizzy. Like someone's always done something viral about Glizzy on TikTok or something. So the whole Glizzy water thing now is people who don't know how to grow very well. You know what I mean? The only thing that can really save them is some miracle thing. So that's one way of looking at it. And Glizzy water, you just tell people they just need that Glizzy water. So if someone's a plant killer and you can't help them, the only thing you do is tell them to take a bottle of water or a bottle that's empty, write Glizzy on it, and then use that. You know what I mean? It's just funny.
That's crazy, man. One thing that you did mention earlier, and it seemed like you have some experience with it, is sexual instability. Sperms.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What are your thoughts on hermaphrodite plants? Real herms, fake herms? Because you kind of talked about plant stresses. Can you just go into that a little bit?
So I don't know like necessarily how to explain things from the data set that people would explain it from, but I'll tell you my experience. My experience is so far I found 3 different like levels to sexual instability. There's like a level of the bottom of the plant will show at the same place where the hairs are going to come out, right? Exact same place. You'll see a small nanner poke out with some of the hairs. So you'll see no male parts anywhere except for a nanner hanging out where the female parts are coming out. And I notice the plants that do that usually don't do that. They're not like crazy with it. They just kind of do it. And it's hard to get them to do it. Then I noticed another level of where they can actually show down from where they show the pistils. You can show a ball, or where they show pistils a separate piece where there'll be a ball or a couple balls, but it'll be separate from where they actually have the hairs. Those ones right there are usually really finicky and they're easy to get to flip, and they'll flip all up and down from top to bottom sometimes, depending on how bad it is. But I've had a plant that grew and it didn't show any, and then I grew it from clone, and it did it all over the plant like it was a male female plant. Like it freaked the hell out. But I grew it from seed with zero issues. So that was strange. And then the second version is I popped seed, and every time I grew it, I couldn't get it from clone to not show male parts on it every single time. I flipped it in the flower, and I would even pluck the balls off, and it would continue to keep growing new balls and shit. Like it was like, I'm gonna keep doing my thing. So those are the 3 versions. I would say the top one is probably closer to like a real hermaphrodite maybe, and then the one at the very bottom is probably just as about as normal as you can get for some plant development. A plant under certain situations, most plants will do something. You know what I mean? Like I think it's just a level to it. Like I got the daily grind. It's not going to do that at all under any stress that I can think of. But if you reverse it, I'm sure, if you put silver on it, with silver thiosulfate, or if you use colloidal silver, or if you got some kind of hormone trick, I'm sure you can make it do it. Like I'm sure most plants, other than maybe a polyhybrid that doesn't have the ability to do that, would do that every time. So then I think all plants, if you're going to consider sexual instability, hermaphrodite, all plants have hermaphroditic tendencies because almost all of them can be reversed, right? So then that's in the DNA. So then there's some way that the plant can grow and you can force it into that situation without putting silver on it properly. What do you think?
Man, I agree with you, man. You know, I think that you can most definitely have a full herm. I know I had a KJ last run, man. The whole fucking plant, top to bottom, it was the best looking fucking plant in the 2x4. And man, that motherfucker just had ball meat everywhere. You know what I mean? I've had some plants like the lasagna had some male sacs at the bottom of the plant, but didn't have anything at the top of the plant, nowhere near the buds or anything like that. So just very interesting. And you know, I would be honest with everyone, I'm not experienced enough to know why some only do it at the bottom, why you would have a full herm. Like what are the what are the parameters that make these plants do that? You know what I mean?
Exactly. But I don't know either.
I'm not sure, man. I'm honestly not sure. But what I can say is that I'm a believer of, you know, that obviously you want to get people the best products that you can. So like if you got something that's herming and you've released it, shit, you got to pull that shit off the shelf. Like if it hermed on you, like, okay, there's a level of like what happened, what even then, you know, me, you can ask anybody in our chat, man, I'm a money back kind of guy. So if you ever had a problem with me, I'm trying to figure out, do you want your money back? Do you want another do you want another pack of seeds? What is it that I can do?
Yeah, but you're in a position where you're making money though, so that's a value thing that you got. You know what I mean? You're like, dude, every time. You know what I mean? Every time.
For sure, man. And the thing for me is, you know, like what I always wanted to do is just make the cost of seeds lower. I felt like the price of seeds was way too high. You know what I mean? I'm like that dude who was from the rent is too damn high party, but for seeds, you know what I mean? So what I always wanted to do is just give people a low cost solution. $20, come get you a pack of seeds. You know what I'm saying? Grow this shit out. I know you're gonna get some good weed because I'm smoking this weed myself. You know what I mean? And I believe it's good. So
bro, there's a big market for just crosses. You know how many people? Probably 25% or more people that I know that like weed to grow or anything. They would like just anybody they know just to give them some crosses because they want to grow some new shit. They just like growing stuff all the time. They'll get seeds from anybody. They'll get seeds that are expensive. They'll get cheap seeds. Oh, you're a new grower. You made your first cross. Let me get those. They don't even care. They like growing them genuinely. There's a lot of people that are like that. It's a big part of the market too. So, you know, the nuanced part of the market is IBLs and, you know, shit like that. That's the smallest part of the market probably. You know? But I don't know much about like deep science about the plant or nothing. I just watch the plant and respond to it and learn from the plant.
What do you feel like you need to know the deep science of the plant?
I would like the language. That way I could understand other people when they're talking sometimes.
But
you know, I would like to know the language.
Absolutely need it though, is what I'm saying. I mean,
oh no, I think that if you're good at observation and you truly are trying to get to the bottom of it and you're not lying to yourself, I think that any intelligent human being can figure out how to do things like everyone figured out how to do everything else. So like you're going to be, because you're doing the thing you're doing, your subconscious mind is already going to be learning everything about it. So you're going to pick up every fucking word that everybody says about it. Every little thing that you read and every little video that might come out about this whole thing you might be interested in. So by proxy, you're already going to learn a lot of stuff that's pertinent because you're interested in it. And then the experience of doing things, I feel like really gets you to a good spot. But there might be a time when if you're trying to make money and trying to have people invest in you and you want people to take you real serious, it would probably be best if you did have the agreed upon accommodations that you need to understand all that stuff, whatever that means. I don't know what that means right now. Maybe some kind of schooling, or for something. Maybe you had a conversation with somebody that's very educated, and they went through all the things you know, and they said, "Yeah, you know what you're doing, man," and helped you with some of this stuff. That might be enough, but I don't know.
It might. It depend on, again, because of how weed is structured from state to state. It just depends on what you're trying to do, right? You can, far as lanes go, you can. It depend on what you are trying to make and what you're trying to do. You may never make it. I give you the perfect example. You included. I look at all of y'all. Like I go to all of these streams and everybody talk about home grower, and then I look at what the fuck y'all growing. And it's like, yo, no, I'm a home grower. The dude that just got the 2x4, right? The dude that just got the dude that got the 4x4, not the fucking dude with the whole yard of weed, not the dude that got motherfucking a bedroom of weed, not the dude with the goddamn 8x8 or motherfucking 2 10x10s. Like, and I represent the dude that just got the 2x4 or the 4x4, because what happens is
A lot of them.
a lot of times guys like us listen, and it's not nobody's fault, but this is why I always emphasize this. We listen to guys that got these larger growth spaces, and it's completely different, right? It's different when you're growing in a
Definitely.
2x4, right? And you hear people be like, oh, you should get a pound per plant. Yeah, how long is your veg time and what is your space you growing in? That makes all the difference, right? So like that's what I'm always on the lookout for my guys that's in the 2x4s, the 4x4s, because that's what I grow in. Like I just recently got a room and it ain't even big. It's like a 12x12, and I ain't even using that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Yet. You know what I'm saying? It's like it just depends on your situation, what you're gonna get and how you growing, right? But again, I said that to say a lot of times y'all don't realize how many people are growing in smaller situations than y'all, because y'all be like, oh yeah, I'm just a home grower. What you got? Oh yeah, I only got these 50 plants over here, and they're all fucking 5 feet tall, and I just not much though, not much. Yeah, because everybody is fucking in a facility or growing outside or shit like that, right? So in y'all mind, and I ain't even saying y'all isn't y'all, I'm just saying y'all isn't not me. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're not aware that it's like that shit is so much bigger to people that's just intense, right? That's like shit is huge, right? Especially when they just in I don't even know. Kong, I'm gonna check into that. Especially when it's just people that's intense, you know what I'm saying? Lord,
Yeah, I got a 2.5x5, and the way that I grow in there is uh, pretty much quite a bit different. I
It's
stay in
quite a
1 gallon
bit
pots. I
different.
use lights that aren't very powerful. Everything's real slow growing in there, real compact. I don't have to feed the same parts per million through any of the growth stages.
Yeah.
And it's just a real relaxed grow that really nothing ever goes out of it. I never get tip burn in the tents. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
but then in the room, bro, the room is
Way
like
fucking
fucking
different.
race car because I got a big light. So then it's like it makes you want, if you get on a really nice mountain bike, it makes you want to ride harder, right? So when you get bigger lights, it makes you want to go harder, kind of. So it gets you
Mhm.
stuck off in a different kind of strategy when you get bigger lights. Like it's just weird
For
because
me,
they're much
it was for when I got
different.
to add more height for me, like because I was always in shorter tents. So when I was able to have a plant finish at my height, which I'm not tall, around fucking 5.5 feet or so. When I was able to have a plant finish like that, because I had went from a 2x2 to a 2x4, and they were only 4 feet tall. So shit, if your tent is 4.5 feet tall, 4 feet tall, and you got lights in there, your plants, you flipping them bitches at like 20 inches, right? Because you don't got that much. Your plant's gonna finish at 2 feet tall. So like it's hard to get weight when your plants are 2 feet tall. So like again, that's why I just try to remind my guys out there and in them smaller situations, because like you said, it's gonna
It's
be
not the
different.
same numbers. I see what you're getting to.
Yeah,
So like if you take a 2.5 foot by 5 foot area of my grow space under one of them lights, it will probably yield more in general than any 2.5 by 5 will,
There you
because of the light you got and everything that's going to be in that 2.5 by
There
5.
you
The
go.
potential is not the same. The yield potential is much higher in that room under that big light than it would be. Yeah, definitely. So then I see what you're saying. Sometimes people look at other growers and they go, damn, these people are getting numbers like this. I should be getting numbers like that. And it becomes stressful.
Yeah, you
But really,
can't.
it's not the same number
Yeah,
that you're
it's
looking
not.
at.
And that's all I be trying to remind them, because that was for me personally. I know I dealt with that. I haven't been growing anything nothing but 8 years. I've been breeding like 3.5, close to 4, right? So like when I first started growing, I used to be like, why the fuck can I do what they like? It was really, no one broke that shit down to me, because they just explained, well, you get this from this 30 watts per square foot and blah 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 blah. And I knew about the inverse square law and all that shit, but like what I didn't know was what I know now about height, light power and height. And nobody's going into that. They just only talking about the square foot. But you know, like you just said, each square foot is not created equal. You know what I mean? Like some
I got
square feet.
I got a TM Lappy light. When you hit the right intensity, it's about 8 inches of the exact right amount of intensity to grow in and flower. From away from the light in space, then you go into them 1,000 watt Metagrow Easy 8s at 80%. You got about 18 inches of the same amount, so it's over double the same amount, and the wattage is not double the amount. So there is something with the bigger lights. It's like if you got a Photon Tech 1,000 watt Pro, that thing, or Grandmaster level, the Gram's potential is bigger because of the depth of the light. How deep it can go into the canopy is much greater. It can be double or triple the amount of some LEDs.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get into spending money on lights. I'm a cheap motherfucker. I'm not.
I need a free light. I need a free light.
Man,
Shit.
look, as professional
Let me get a
as you
hand me
are,
down.
as professional as you are, I'm surprised that your show does not have a real light sponsor. Have you contacted it? Man, look at here. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. Hold on. I don't make me stop this goddamn show. You supposed to be on this motherfucker though. This don't sound like Portuguese math. This the same shit like the Sun Lipo that you was running, same technology. But nah. I would have to contact a light company if I'm you. You got nice commercials and shit and bumpers and all kind of good shit. You know what I'm saying? Look, he say optic, my contact them dudes.
I tried to get so in my opinion, Grandmaster level is, if I'm gonna buy a light, and I want the light that I want, I would buy a Grandmaster level Borg, the fully adjustable spectrum, and then I would buy the other one, I forget which one it is, that has the most uniform PPFD ever in any LED. I would buy these because I like the product and I like the support behind the product. So then if I'm going to get a light sponsor, it's can only be what I want to upgrade to. So then Grandmaster level is the only light sponsor we could potentially get. Me and Corey have already kind of talked about. We might get Kind LED, some other ones maybe, I don't know. But we'd like to get Grandmaster level. It takes 10,000 followers.
He's serious.
Take a look,
because I'm not giving a fuck who we get.
If you can, take a look. Like they said, man, I think Grandmaster level GML. I haven't looked too much at their light. I only remember when they were working with HLG, and
hey,
that's a whole nother story.
That nigga,
but
boy.
But what I would say, man, optic as well too, man. You know, I don't really
optic.
I know several people who use their light PIF 420 girl. He used to be a member of what was that, OGF back in the day.
Man, but look, we're not gonna keep pumping that shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
I would say optic would be a good option because I know they do some sponsorships, kind of sponsorships. GML, I don't know if they're doing sponsorships, but
yeah, they do for 10,000 subs. If you got 10,000 subs on IG or YouTube or any social media platform, then you can.
He'll let you combine them. We let you combine your YouTube.
I asked him that. He said nope. It has to be on one platform.
God damn, GML. What the?
Yeah, it's not. He said it's not up to him. He said that it is already agreed upon a thing between like the whole board. They already have. They have people who come up with rules for their company because they're a bigger company. It's not really his choice. He can give you something, but it would be outside of the company sponsor. It wouldn't be a real sponsorship.
Yeah,
Like his company's bigger than just him.
my thing is that's the thing I'm figuring out about myself. Lanes, right? I'm a guy that I don't ever want to. I'm not gonna say ever at the moment. I don't really want to be working with nobody that's on the board or all these like. I'm old school, dog. I used to, and again, I'm a little older than probably. I know I'm probably older than you. I know goddamn well I'm older than Righteous, but it's like, man, I remember just like when we was like trapping for real, like right. So like just to have a semi decent job I got now, and then I'm still able to like trap legally. It's just like shit is cool, right? Like shit is cool. It ain't even about the beans, like you said. That shit. I'm gonna be honest with you. I make beans because like it's fun for me, right? Like it's fun, and like I told Right all the time, like yeah, I can make money and I like money, but at the same time, I'm gonna be like fair. Anybody that bought beans from me, you're gonna get your money's worth, right? You're gonna spend some money, but you're gonna get your money's worth, like for sure. And it ain't gonna be all fucked up. But I'm gonna make a lot of shit because I just like doing shit, right? I like doing shit. I'm like them people you just said that like growing everything. I was like that. I like growing everything and then just turned into a fucking breeder that now I like to breed everything. I'm like, damn, I'm smoking this. I'm smoking this. Damn, these taste good. What if I just, it always a start with me mixing it in a joint. And then I smoke it. I'm like, let me reverse this. Cause you know, I like this shit. It's all new and shit. You know what I'm saying?
But if you wasn't doing that, then the opportunity of whatever comes about of all those would never have been actualized. Like some people don't look at it that way, unfortunately. I mean, I do. I think there's so much you could do 100 million crosses all kinds of ways and come up with something that's highly special. You know, like Skittles is like 50 something crosses or something to make Skittles.
I've never had a good Skittles. I want a good Skittles so bad. I've never grown a good one.
I haven't had the real one, but this is just what the Soul King was saying, at least, that it's like a bunch of crosses that it took from the beginning to make the actual Skittles or something.
I got an idea about that especially from a person that makes fucking genetics, right? Okay, just like you said, you didn't have a real one. Like I feel like if the shit is solid enough, even the representation that we all got should have been good enough, right? Everything that was supposed to have been Skittles shouldn't have been trash, right? Some of that shit should have been good, right? At some point, right? Because
some growers ain't very good though.
There you go. I think that's the key.
Some growers ain't very good though.
That's partially the grower. Partially it's the grower, but also it's phenotype too. So if you didn't use the same exact phenos, you know, then how could you expect that shit to be so close? I remember there was a video, I think we might even ripped off your Instagram, where there's a gentleman, he had the pie chart, he was talking about breeding, he was talking about all the plants that are in this specific cross, but how do you breed just to get, you know, like OG Kush out of it? Or how do you breed to get you know, a blueberry out of it? Whatever the case may be, you know, I will be the first one to say those are those sciences that I don't particularly understand. You know, if you're saying there's 50 different plants in here, how do I go out and pull out one? Man, I don't fucking know. And I'll be honest with you, man, I don't fucking care. You know what I'm saying? I'm make this cross. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna grow the cross.
Currently, do you see this comment?
I just look at it. What?
Do you see this comment?
I would love to get a GML, but 430 for a 2x2, a little
2x2.
What the hell?
That just seems like so much fucking money for a small space. Now, to clarify or to quantify, if you're trying to make sense of this price, the 2x2, like we were talking about, creative, is probably more of a 2x2 space fit, like more in your grow room, as opposed to being in a 2x2 tent, I believe.
GML lights aren't a light to buy if you're just looking for good LED lights. They're a light to buy if you want to run elevated CO2 and you want to run hydroponically indoors and you're running monocropping and you got 1 gallon Cocoa Tech. Like, they're made for people who are trying to run real fast. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm interested in them, because they're a leg up from what I got. I feel like they're just more light than anything I've ever used.
I ain't gonna front. That's why I want to fuck with optic because like
Or
you can
go ahead.
dial in your spectrum. Like you can that shit like
Yeah, that's
like the old EQs used to be in the fucking 90s. I can dial in
you can do that
however
with
I
an
want to
optic.
dial it in. Hell yeah!
Let me look
Like
this up real
again,
quick.
You got the
I ain't gonna-
Nakamichi on the side. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna get into it, you know, because I ain't, you know, championing for anybody because my shit come from China. But when I do spend some money on some lights, which I haven't for real, when I do, it probably will be optic because I do like the fact, and I'm a person that like to experiment with shit like real bad. So I will get that shit where I can EQ that shit. I call it the EQ. I don't know what the technical term for it is.
The Nakamichi mixer.
Yeah, I definitely grab that motherfucker. Yeah, so that's why, for real though, Craig, because you bigger than we are. If you fuck with them, they'll probably sponsor you though, for real. And you might
I like Metagrow too, though.
yeah.
Frosted
Like-
light.
I'm using the Metagrow Easy 8s in there, and I mean, I like them. I think all the lights work great. I'm just
They do.
saying, if I was gonna buy a light and I wasn't thinking about the money, I want to buy the Borg, that fully adjustable light, and a gram potential is higher than almost anything on the market. Like that's why I want to get it only because right now it's something I want to experiment with CO2. If I'm going to do CO2, I want to buy a big, like maybe a Photon Tech 1000 watt CO2 Pro. That light I would buy, I think, is an upgrade from the light I have right now. Even though mine's 1000 watt, I don't think Metagrow has the same gram potential as one of those lights that have like UV and a more dialed in spectrum. They got more light, I think.
Yeah.
I might be wrong.
Now, do you do DWC or
Well, yeah, my last grow was DWC.
because you seem like just talking to you now, you seem like a DWC type of guy, like because it moves so fast and so quick. You seem like a type of guy that want to move big and fast. You know what I'm saying?
No, not really. I like it. It's fun, but it's not. I grew snowplow under those lights 2 harvests ago under Rockwool with 2-gallon pots, and I got the same speed and same yield, everything. And I did RDWC system and flooded my house twice, and got the same yield and everything, same speed. So
Shit.
I think I'm pretty dialed in with watering, like because I water multiple times a day when I'm going into flower. So I think I'm pretty competitive to the DWC, obviously, with these plants. So it's like it was kind of a waste of time for me to even try it because I'm like, if you're already really efficient with your plants, DWC, it might not really look too much different. But if you're like growing organically and then you go to DWC, it'll fucking blow your top off how fast it grows, you know. But I don't know. I like cocoa right now. I like everything. I like to grow always. I have no
Cocoa, my favorite.
reservation for anything. I don't care to be in any team or any angle. I like all of it.
Well, I literally had just fucked my shit up just because I got some cocoa and bricks, didn't rinse my shit, and it was all salty. It was making my plants look all fucked up, and it took me a minute to figure it out, but
Now,
that
two
was what it
questions for you.
was.
Are you using? You say you're using cocoa. Are you using bricks or bags? And then can you kind of go into the nutrients that you're using right now?
Yep.
I don't think there's a lot of people who use what you're using for nutrients.
Yeah, we'll go back here. You mind, can we bring plants on here?
Man, you're good, bro, man, and we appreciate you asking, man.
And let me show you how good you are. We finna get your ass the whole screen. Look at that boy there. Look at him just waiting. Look at him.
Oh, let me turn my camera around. Oh. There's a couple things.
What's up, Mr. Nice One and D Mike and Momanic Meds?
And I want to take this time
So
ask everybody to like, share, and subscribe, man, and y'all make sure y'all subscribe to each other as well too.
the cocoa is the Cora Floor Flex quick fill bags.
Oh, there you go,
So the
Piff. That's Piff shit.
the top one is a 1.25 gallon, and I got the plastic right here because I didn't want it to dry back too quick. And then the bottom one is the 2 gallon, but it's only half full of cocoa. So it's only 1.25 gallons. So it's total of 2.5 gallons of cocoa. And then I did the cloth one so that this would dry back quicker down here, because the moisture is going to come down here more than up here, you know?
Yeah.
And this has worked really well for the cocoa. And then the, let's go to the nutrient.
There you go, Piff. And he talking about the dry backs too, Piff. Shit.
So then here's the nutrient that I use. It's Simply Professional Formula.
Hey, look, now if that shit, cause I'm high looking at that make me ooh, look at the colors. What is it? I want to grow with it.
So this is the most comprehensive nutrient lineup that I know of personally. It has yucca. It's a humate-based fertilizer, seaweed, microbes, amino acids, silica. And then we have 800 million CFU of microorganisms. So basically it has 8 times the amount of microorganisms that Orca does in the actual nutrient. And then it has your micronutrients.
Is it just the one part? Is it by itself?
It's all in one.
So when you start out, you can. This is an all-in-one. So what this means is when you're in veg, you're only using powder out of this only. You use nothing else.
Okay.
And then when you're out of veg, you're gonna transition. So then they have a transition formula which negates stretching. It helps your plants not stretch as much and it makes them thicker. And then so you run that for 2 weeks, and then you go to the bloom formula.
Okay.
And you run this for 3 weeks. Then you go to the boost formula, and you finish off with this. And that's all you do. And then you have CalMag if you want to use this.
Yeah.
If you want to supplement it, which I use this CalMag early in the growth stage, and then I use it a few weeks in the veg. And I quit using this right before I flip because I don't want to create any osmotic pressure, like any problem in the root zone. So the calcium is the biggest problem in the root zone that stacks real easy and stresses the plants out. So I cut that back and use the transition, and then it makes me get less tip burn because of it.
Okay.
Which all these products have CalMag in them.
Okay.
Nice. So that's a Simple Pro.
Yeah, simply Professional formula. So these are going in the flour. So I'm making a video that I'm gonna post, but I took the leaves from the top, the middle, and then kind of more in the middle and then the very bottom, and then I compare the color of them all to see what's going on with the amount of food that I'm feeding and everything, to see if it's impacting it in any way negatively. Which
now, how long
you're not
were those
getting any
in veg for? Would you
So
say?
cut to cut, this will be 115 days. So from the time that I cut these off the mother plant to when I harvest them, it'll be 115. So they're 8.5 weeks in flower. So maybe a total of
I'm trying to think.
3 weeks to 4 weeks. I don't know if that. Yeah, 2 to 3 weeks. 2 to 4 weeks.
Math in this motherfucker. I'm trying to think.
These are on the umbrella trellis. Pretty neat. Here's a wrench.
Before?
You ever seen these?
No, I've never seen that type of trellis before.
Yeah, so the bottom has one of these right here. This is what you train your plants on. And then this thing clips onto that pole that goes down into the thing. And these fold up and down. So you know how if you have a bunch of these, they would take up a lot of space if they weren't in your growing space. So then these fold up like into just a pole to make them way easier. And those bottom things down here, these also come apart into 4 pieces. So these break down into small pieces too. So it helps a lot for space. But these are all the wrench. Also, new ones are the wrench.
Man, I gotta try keeping more leaves on my shit. I be skinning my shit. I'm looking at that shit like that's a lot of leaves, but really it
Yeah, I'm
ain't.
gonna be taking all these out down here, like
Yeah, I be
all the
skinning my
leaves.
shit, boy.
Yeah, creative. I don't think you understand. Chowop is the commissioner of the NFL, the No Fan League.
But
Kids
that's
League.
but again, that's because like we was discussing, if you got a 2x4, right, or a 3x3, right, hey man, I gotta take all the fan leaves off to get my plants to pack in there to where I still got airflow and I can still fit more plants in there, right? So that's why I couldn't have fan leaves and the shit look all pretty like that. It, you know what I'm saying? Because I had like motherfucking 19 plants in the 2x4.
No, I feel you. Um,
And it's
it's
hard to
definitely a
not grow
fact.
like
Like,
that. It's
yeah, no,
hard.
it's definitely a fact. If you're in the tent, you can't grow your plants tall like that in a tent because you're gonna be,
That
for
shit look
lack of
good
better
though.
words, you're gonna be growing a lot of larf.
Yeah.
Like you're only gonna have so much space on the plant, no matter how tall it is, that's getting usable amount of light. The rest of the plant is gonna feel inadequate. It's not gonna be getting enough light. How are you gonna get any air movement down there either to make that plant feel like it needs to produce something down there? So if you're not getting any air or any light down to the middle part or the bottom part of the plant at all, in a tent, it's kind of difficult to do that. It doesn't make sense to grow that way. You need to stretch it out, and you need to have less depth of canopy if you're going to get a more yield. I think in a tent. But in my scenario right now, these tall plants, I'll pull some of the leaves as I go a little bit. But for the most part, you'll see later on as they go, they do well about 36 inches. They make good buds 36 inches from top to down from the very top. Even the smaller buds are actually really good, and I smoke them all the time, and they're a good representation of the plant. I don't feel like they're any worse than the rest of the plant or anything. They look great. So I don't know. I like growing those plants have to be grown tall. They can't be grown in a tent. It would be a disservice to try and they would look weird growing in a tent. Be hard to get a good yield. I think you're better off growing a plant that stacks really well, makes a cola, and grows a little slower. That way you can put some training into it. Because those fast growing plants, by the time you're ready to flip it, because you have so much leaf matter and plant matter already, uh, you don't have enough branches to make enough weed. You know what I mean? You only got like so many branches.
Makes
That's
sense.
the biggest thing I tell new growers when they taking advice, to look at who you actually taking advice from and have it be relative to your growing situation. Because I tell you, like myself, I always, because I grow indoors, I always like literally forget about outdoor growers, right? And a lot of people I watch grow outdoors, and the way that they grow and the shit that they use is way different than growing indoors. And so like just how they thinking, right? Like they might be like, oh, so what you get per plant? I might be like, oh man, about an ounce and a half. I'm thinking about in a 2x4 or some shit, and they talking about like, man, pounds because they outside, right? Yeah, because you're growing outside. So like people tend to forget things because of how they grow, and they've been doing it for so long. So like as a new person, just make sure your advice is gonna be like, there you go, right? Make sure your advice. I don't know what's coming.
I ain't mean to throw you off. Hey, that should look good. It look good, man. Man, I actually
I didn't forget
man,
about you. What did I do? What you talking about? Talking about what's up, bud? Talking about something. Don't forget about him. What I do?
I think he was talking about. I don't know what he was talking about, honestly, but maybe rosin. Give me some of that rosin. Don't forget about me. Shit, take a hit for me. I don't know what he was asking, but man, look, man, creative. I hate to do this, man, but I have got to ask you. Only because the chat, they require it when we have guests, and it's okay if you don't have an answer, but I need to know. The chat needs to know. What is the greatest Cash Money album of all time?
Cash Money album.
Cash Money Millionaires.
Man, I don't know. I don't know that one. I do listen to a lot of Cash Money stuff though. Young Money. So then, yeah, Young Money Cat. So isn't it like a collaboration between the
That
two?
would
They did
count.
Young Money, Cash Money.
That would
That would
count for
count as
you,
well. We
man.
would count that family tree.
Man, yeah, because we
All right.
can't punish you for not listening to some shit when you was probably 10. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, so I was a late bloomer on music. I really got involved in hip hop when I was about midway through my teens. And then I really kind of exclusively listened to rap and hip hop, and I like a lot of stuff like that. But I still listen to a lot of rock, metal. Every now and then I don't really like country. It's okay. But mainly just listen to rap. Mainly. I like a lot of hip hop that is real positive and it makes you think about life, makes you want to do better. It gives you energy, makes you think about doing the right thing
Damn, you
or
listening to
treating
two
people correctly.
What happened? What happened? What'd you say?
He listening to two people. He talking about some. He want to listen to positive people. He listening to two people. That's
I was
it.
gonna say that excludes Cash Money now.
Oh,
Nah, I was just
no.
thinking. He made me think. My favorite rock, cause I like rock, but it's got to be in the '80s, cause I watch a lot of movies. So like in the '80s, all of the fucking shit happened with like rock shit in the background until we got to the Beat era. You know what I'm saying? When you had breakdancing. But yeah, come on with the Young Money, man. What you got? What you got for us? What you got for us? Late blooming. What you got for us?
What you mean?
Nah, I'm
He
waiting. I'm
just
waiting to
wanted
hear
to-
his Young Money's your Young
Is
Money
there a
pick.
certain song?
I
a
never
certain-
got. I'm not even gonna lie to you. There's not one artist on earth that I'm aware of that I know one of their albums. I know a lot of individual songs,
I got
a
you.
lot.
That'll
You know
work.
what I mean? So then one of my favorite, man, dude.
Papa Roach. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know, man. I like a lot of it. I could go on my playlist and look.
Nah, man, you told
But
us the
maybe,
song. It's all good. The Young Money was good because that's when they had Drake and Nicki in the beginning. So I'm fucking with that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, and that's when, like originally when Lil Wayne, when 2 Chainz was Titty Boy, and they did that.
Duffel
What's
Bag
that
Boy.
song?
Double Bad Boys.
Duffel Bag Boy. Okay, about that era of time is when I really started listening to any of that Young Money, Cash Money stuff, and everything up from there was very interesting for sure.
Nice.
Mhm.
Nice. Well, we appreciate you engaging myself and our audience, but that's just one question I always like to ask the guests.
Yeah.
Sometimes in our chat, man, they'll start going crazy because we do got some people in here. We have a mixed range of ages, and it's pretty interesting because sometimes in the chat, man, they'll start going back and forth talking about it's all about No Limit versus No Limit's better than Cash Money better than No Limit. So it's just a little thing we like to do here, man. I do appreciate you just engaging us on that, man.
Yeah, if you want to know like what I grew up on, like the type of stuff is like Metallica, you know what I mean? A lot of stuff surrounded around 90s rock. Like you can turn a 90s rock station on, I probably know most of the songs, most of the bands of the songs, like just because I grew up on it. But then when you get into like rap, I don't know a lot of the artists or anything, but I know a lot of songs that I like. And when I hear them, I'm like, that's one of the songs that I really like, that I've listened to a lot of my life. But for some reason, I don't remember. Like something, I'm not good with movies either. I've watched a lot of movies, and then people are like, have you seen this movie? And they'll tell me the name of it. And I'm like, damn, I don't know if I've seen that movie. And then I watch it, and I'm like, yeah, I've seen this like 4 times, bro. Like, how do I not know the fucking name of the video? You know?
Yeah,
Kinda
yeah,
fun.
yeah. I guess, man, one of the last things that I personally wanted to ask is, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years in the cannabis industry?
Doing the exact same thing I'm doing right now.
Perfect. Okay.
Doing the same thing I'm doing right now. I may have more job titles, be doing more stuff, but exact same thing, no different. Like 20 years from now, you could say the same thing. Probably 30, 40 years. Like I got like a 40, 50-year plan to keep riding mountain bikes and just keep doing the same shit. So I'm ready to go. I'm just trying. I just really enjoy what I'm doing. I'm not planning on changing anything. And I stick to something like a dog chained up to it. You know what I mean? Like I'm that kind of person that when I start something, it inevitably becomes part of who I am, and I stick to it. You know what I mean?
For sure. For sure.
So we're just hanging out, not taking nothing from nobody, trying to support as many people as we can, trying to unite people here in Arizona. Just inevitably trying to help everybody while helping ourselves. Having fun, smoking weed.
Nice. Chosen, what you got any other questions for our guest?
Nah, man, it's been a fabulous guest though, for sure.
Are you doing any news today at all?
No, I told you we trying to keep it to around about an hour and a half. I had some news. We'll look at it on the next show. This shit was a standalone of one. This is
Man,
truly
look,
a
man,
good
I
show.
appreciate it, man. I most definitely feel like, man, this was an excellent show.
Wait. Now see, now look. Now see, that's what I knew. Especially for you, DJ is you'll listen to you'll listen to Kong. Oh my God,
Bro, I'm the same way though.
You'll listen
as
to
DJ.
R. Kelly, but you won't listen to Diddy.
Bro, listen.
I'm still listening to Diddy. I don't give a fuck.
I'll take information.
No Way Out was a hard.
I'll take information from somebody who is known as being a bad person, and I can utilize the good thing that they're trying to teach, and I can literally apply it and use them as a teacher just in a small area, even though they're a bad person, but they might have a quality that's so desirable that I need to help me be a good person that I can use it, you know? So a lot of people out there I disagree with. It doesn't change how I interact with reality though. You know what I mean? Like I might not like any of the Nike guys. I'm gonna keep buying Nikes because I enjoy Nikes. I don't like the Nike guys though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, fuck it. I'm gonna buy beans from people that other people might be like, man, that dude beat the shit out of his wife and did all these things, and I'll be like, if there's fire there,
he's fucking with Chimera right now. Send him all your Chimera seeds. Well, send him to me first, and I'll make sure you get them. But
hey, but I'm not.
We don't even care.
I'm not in the market of buying seeds no more, bro. I'm in the market of if my homies want to help me get some good seeds because I know some good seeds, that would be cool. And then we'll start doing stuff like that. Like I'd rather get stuff from people who know or who are interested in stuff. Because it seems like all the growers that I know, everything they're interested in is always unique compared to what I'm interested in. And it always blows me away when I try somebody else's stuff that they've selected. I'm like, damn, dude, I haven't had anything like this before. Like, how is this real? And that happens to me all the time with growers. I'm like, I feel like I've had a lot of the profiles, and then I try this one. I'm like, dude, this tastes like pumpkin pie. Like, what the hell? Like, literally, like a nice, good pumpkin pie. Or somebody will bring some shit, and it'll smell like jelly donuts. Literally, you're like,
wow,
I've never had this before. Yeah, I really enjoy it. That's why getting different genetics from people and seeing like what you're doing, you're making all these crosses. The different kinds of plants that come out of everything you're doing is going to be totally different from each other. Over like, there's just so many different things that you can get from it that will be good. Because just weed's good like that, man. Some people don't like polyhybrids, but I dare you to grow some polyhybrids and tell me that shit don't taste hella good and it's not super strong. Like some of these plants out here that people look at and they have smaller buds and they got some separation in between the buds. People talk shit on these, but if you try that weed, you'll probably think it's really good. You'd be like, damn, this stuff has a lot of flavor. I wasn't expecting this to be this strong. Or the look of a plant sometimes, in my opinion, isn't the deciding factor on how it's going to make you feel.
It just depends on what you're breeding for. That's what I tell people. I know your breeder. Some people are just gonna breed for Big shit. Some people
structure.
gonna breathe for, hey man, I don't care what this shit look like, what it smoke like. It just depends on what your
Yeah,
people.
that's what I'm. Shit, bring me some stuff that gets me super high and it's really desirable to smoke and taste good.
People
And
that
let
are not in it for the money tend to not care so much about. This is what I found out. People that's not in it for the money tend to don't care so much about yield, structure, and frost as much as people. Not to say they don't care about them things, because they do. They definitely do. But the people that is trying to go out here and get that bag from everybody on the corner or from everybody they know, they usually really care more about how the shit look than more about how it smoke, because that's what's selling the shit now, is how it look, pretty much, if you're selling on the internet anyway, which I'm not, but I'm just talking about these cats.
that's the thing too. Is there's a subcategory to every category, and the people who like to grow. There's people who genuinely only grow plants. They only select them for structure, even though they smoke weed. They smoke all day. They love smoking weed. They don't care really about the high or the taste. Hardly. I mean, they want something desirable. But the main thing they're worried about is the structure good? Does it yield well? Okay, we're good. And then if it's okay after that, then they're good with that. There's a lot of people like that, and I can respect that, because I respect the fact that I don't give a shit about that. I don't care about the structure or how much it yields. Does this shit get me high? Does it taste good? Is it desirable? That's number one for me. You know what I mean? And then all the other stuff, I complain about
Okay.
trimming. I hate trimming. So I
Okay.
try to grow shit that you don't have to trim. Like,
Okay.
everyone has their ideas.
Yep. And it ain't no wrong way. It's just what you prefer. But man, I could keep talking all night for real, bro. And I was supposed to
Yeah.
cut this shit short. But right, all right, righteous. I'm back. I'm on track. You supposed to keep me on track. I'm the one that's fucking the high all the time.
Yeah, man. That is true, man. I'm on my second day of no smoking.
Oh,
Yeah, man. This shit is crazy. But we're gonna figure it out. Now the thing that's crazy about that is, even though I'm on my second day of not smoking, man,
You gonna figure it out.
I just applied for a medical card today. So so who fucking knows, right? But yeah, man, we'll see, man. Hopefully I can stay strong. Cause I'll be honest, man, I don't even know myself not high. I've never spent, longer than a day or two without smoking. Since I've been like 13.
yeah, I
I
feel
smoke,
you.
and so it's just kind of difficult, but life pulls you in different directions, and we're just gonna see which way life is taking your boy. So if y'all saw that thumbnail where it said unstoned and streaming, I would be the unstoned motherfucker on here.
I was down here blowing the stream down.
Ain't nothing
My
wrong.
bad.
Nothing wrong with that. Please, man. I think that's a very selfish way to think. If like for instance, if I don't smoke a cigarette, but you over there smoking a cigarette, what I look like telling you, hey man, you shouldn't be smoking a cigarette because I don't smoke a cigarette. If you man, feel free to fire that shit up, because that's what this shit is all about, man. You know what I'm saying? The community getting blowed, and just coming together, man, and giving people something interesting to kind of just get into. You know what I mean? Stone and streaming to me, man, is a lot more than a podcast, man. I've met a lot of
It's a way of life.
Yeah, man. I done met a lot of great people on here, man. So that's probably what I'm most thankful for. We'll most definitely see what happens, man. I'm not optimistic. I know I probably could do it, but in life there's things that you want to do versus things that you could do. And man, I'm gonna be honest, I don't want to stop smoking, but we're gonna see what happens, man. We're gonna see what happens.
Last thing I'm gonna say is I'm in St. Louis, but goddamn it, y'all better not let True go out there and them lemon pepper steppers by itself no more. Goddamn
Yeah,
it.
no doubt.
Don't let him go out there by itself, man. Fuck that. I was thinking about catching a flight, man. Going
Hey,
down there. Once
I was
just
gonna be
seen him,
there
I'm
too.
like, man, what the fuck?
I was gonna be there too, but my phone came where I got this new phone. Hence my old phone right here. But I had to sign for my phone. Get my phone. That was shitty. I would have been there with him though, but whatever.
Yeah, goddamn it! Shout out to True though. That's the type of shit I
No,
like.
he's one of the only guys, you know, that are about the shit that ain't a lobbyist. You know,
Some of this shit I don't agree with. He say not about the lobby shit. I usually agree with all that shit, but just certain shit in general. But it's always a great conversation when I talk to him. Though, for sure, for sure. I definitely fuck with him. One day, we just gonna have like a real round table on this bitch, like 8 people or some shit. But I be having ideas, but I have rights to get it organized to change smoking no more. But yeah, we get about 8 people on this bitch with just actual real topics and shit. Y'all could talk though, so can I. So I just probably be the dude that present the topics and shit. Probably that'd be dope. I'm gonna think about it. Guys, we're gonna let Creative go. He was great on here.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Is there anything that you'd like to shout out before you leave? Maybe HD or anything that you got going
oh
on?
yeah, check us out. Hired Desert Exotics on YouTube. If you ain't heard of us, what we do, we're not like really a hangout podcast on Fridays. We're more like an interview podcast. We interview people similar to this platform right here today in the community, and we just try to connect, people with our audience or people that are there, and that's it.
Super fucking professional. I'm always over there. I suggest y'all go and check them
Hey,
out.
I will say this, just in regards to that, man. I have been on HDE, man. It was a great experience, man. I appreciate the hospitality. One of the reasons, not the only reason, but one of the reasons why I most definitely felt comfortable inviting you here to introduce you to our audience, because I think you are a really solid person, man. So I just appreciate you. Keep doing what you're doing. And just as a suggestion, man, I think Choap would be a great person to be on your show, man, because Choap's got a lot of different things going on, and he's a grumpy old man and shit. But
Ain't I though, man? Get off my
but he-
line. Get
he
off.
definitely
Move the fuck around. Straight up. Nah, man, they so professional. Like I need to be on his after show. Like he like dude, like dog, they man, like it's crazy because a lot of people he have on there, I actually sub and watch like the Soil Dude, Brandon Russ. Like I watch this shit, Bakashi Dude, I watch this shit all the time on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of them cats I fuck with. One dude I want you to get, and I'll even help you get him. Cause it ain't for our podcast, bro. I wish it was though, but nigga, you gotta get Bruce Bugby on your shit.
Yeah.
You gotta get Bruce. He ain't fucking with us because we ain't Bruce material over in this bitch for sure. But your shit, yeah, we got to get Bruce over there, man. We need to all just tap in with Bruce and tell him to go to HDE podcast. You know what I mean?
We want everybody on. Everybody in the community.
Oh,
That's why we have home growers on. Sometimes we have home growers on that don't even have a brand or don't even make content. Like it's anybody, it don't even matter.
Yeah, I be saying that shit, but I'm gonna let you go because I could go like I could just keep fucking going.
Yeah, you're chosen one on IG, right?
Yeah, and RTC Co.
Right.
They're both there, but one guy because my shit had got taken, right, and then so I started an official one, and then I got my shit back, so it was so weird. So I got both of them now, but yeah, I'm more of an informal type of non-format dude because I can just get on and talk, and it ain't good, not good at all. I need to be more like right. Need to be more like him, that guy. All right.
Everybody say that.
Nah, I know, but hey, it's the first time for everything, guys. Let's wish. Oh my God, yeah, that wasn't gonna end well. Thanks for coming on, Creative.
Let's wish Creative a happy birthday.
Let's wish him a happy life. I don't know what I was thinking. All right, bro. Right on.
Through him.
I don't know what I was thinking. Creative is very cool. Y'all gotta go sub up to him because look, y'all, he's everything that I am not. Like they say the right shit. right? We do not say the right. We working on it, but like I ain't built like that. This is, man, look. Thank you, Norman G. Hopefully you come back. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully. I was gonna say something too, but I can't remember what it was. Yeah, I'm old as shit. Like I'll be 48 this year. Next week we are gonna still have a show. I haven't figured out because I got surgery next Tuesday actually, right? So it's gonna be in the morning. My surgery is gonna be at 8 in the morning. So we might can still do a show. But either way it go, it will be a show, right? Next week at the same time. So tap in. I don't know if it's gonna be one where we doing where we record it and we do a live watch. You know what I'm saying? Together. That's more than likely what it might be, because I don't know. I got a feeling, like I was telling Righteous, this shit might be a little bit different. This surgery. You know what I'm saying? So we'll just see. But you got anything you want to say in closing? You know what I'm saying?
No, man, I just appreciate everybody coming through, man. The chat was live, and we had like 30 plus people.
That was all creative. I told you they professional.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. That was most definitely creative, man. And man, appreciate everybody, man. Just for coming through, man. It's been a great episode of Stone and Streaming. This your boy Righteous Ain't Playing.
Man, and it's the shows and checking in, man. We're gonna just need y'all to do one last thing, man. Get them goddamn umbrellas out.
Rain, 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 rain. Every time you see the boy, got a brand new strain. And the shit so Waco. Flame, 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 flame. Put your ass in a ditch. Saddam El Hussein. Two things that a nigga know. Pot the beans, let the shit grow. Green like that mean go. That mean go. Two things that a nigga know. Pot the beans, let the shit grow. Green like that mean go. That mean go. That man go. That man go. Beat the game. Check the lingo. Nigga, how far would the green take you? As far as you go. That man go. That man go. Beat the game. Check the lingo. Nigga, how far would the green take you? As far as you go. It ain't no game. It ain't no game. All of these niggas, they looking for game. Lining they pockets, they flooding they pockets, they lining they pockets with all of this change. Shit ain't no game. Shit ain't no game. All of these niggas, they do it for game. But one thing won't change. It will remain the same. None of these niggas will ever reign. All these hundreds in this bitch is gone. Tommy gun, honey bun, it's gone. Hope you brought your umbrella, it's gone. And we gon' cause it's gone. All these hundreds in this bitch is gone. Tommy gun, honey bun, it's gone. Hope you brought your umbrella, it's gone. And we gon' cause it's gone. All these hundreds in this bitch is gone. Tommy gun, honey bun, it's gone. Hope you brought your umbrella, it's gone. And we gon' cause it's gone.